All right, hello and welcome. I'm Otis Landerholm. I'm the founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thank you so much for being with me. Today I'm talking about VAWA cases, Violence Against Women Act cases, and specifically I'm talking about, what is abuse, all right? What is you're subject to abuse or extreme cruelty? Let's look at the type of harm that someone has to suffer, right, in order to qualify for VAWA. And obviously there are other requirements for VAWA too. We've got a video explaining all of them. But for right now, I want to look at that in much more depth. Like, what is, quote unquote, abuse or extreme cruelty? So let's look at that. First of all, I want to say, like, if you are being abused and feel like you might have a VAWA case, I really recommend that you talk it through, because really what happens is sometimes people think maybe they don't have a case just because maybe your spouse isn't like maybe you've never been hospitalized, or maybe you've never called the police or something like that. Those things are not required for a VAWA case, all right? And so let's get into it. For VAWA, how much harm do you really need to be suffering to potentially qualify for VAWA? And so let's get into it. First of all, hitting, punching, slapping, kicking, any physical kind of harm that you're suffering in your relationship, I mean, that's physical abuse, all right? I don't care if they're like just, pulling your hair. Obviously, you're not going to go to the hospital if somebody has pulled your hair, but that is abuse, and you should not tolerate it, right? If somebody's, harming you in any physical way, that is kind of taken into account by the VAWA statutes, all right? But it's bigger than that. You could also qualify for VAWA even if they've never, touched you physically, but if they've just threatened to harm you like that, if they've threatened to hit you, threatened to punch you or slap you or kick you or hurt you or pull your hair, like those things can count also. That is abuse. That is cruelty if somebody threatens to do those things, all right? Abuse of a sexual nature, including rape, but also including unwanted sexual touching, all right? That is abuse. Threats to harm someone that's important to you, threats to harm your children, threats to harm your parents, all right? Anything like that, that's abuse. Any threats to get a person deported. Oh, I'm going to deport you, right? Because I don't like you anymore. Something like that, that is abuse. That is extreme cruelty. Controlling where a person goes or controlling what a person does. Locking your spouse indoors, right? I'm going to lock you in so you can't go out at night. Like that's ridiculous. All right? That is abuse. That is extreme cruelty. Okay? Not allowing you to apply for a job. Saying, no, you're not going to go out. You're going to be 100% dependent on me, right? That's abuse. Not allowing you to spend any money. No, you can't buy your own personal things or whatever. All right? Not allowing you to communicate with others. Canceling your phone or not allowing you to use a phone. All right? That's cruelty. Somebody who abuses you verbally constantly. There's no harm there, no physical anything. But if somebody's constantly calling you names, insulting you, that's psychological abuse. Any other psychological harm or cruelty that happens constantly and that makes your life toxic, that all can form the basis of a VAWA case. All right, and that's the purpose of my video. If you are in the middle of that, and if you're in a relationship that is just like nasty toxic, all right, look at the requirements for VAWA, because that type of stuff should never be tolerated. And immigration law can give people an option. If you're suffering abuse or extreme cruelty by a U.S. citizen or a green card holding spouse or parent, like you shouldn't have to tolerate that. That's nonsense. And you could potentially file for VAWA. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you're not going through any of that. But if you are going through that, hey, you might have an immigration option. All right. And so, you know, feel free to contact my office. I'd love to talk and discuss it with you further. But don't tolerate that nonsense. All right. You should not tolerate living in a toxic relationship, period. You know, and yes, contact my office. We could help you with your immigration case. But first of all, get out of that relationship. My goodness. So thank you for watching this. If it was helpful, please give a thumbs up to our video or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're dealing with that, please do not hesitate to contact my office. My consultation team is wonderful, and they can explain VAWA and they can go through the process. There are other options also if you're going through types of abuse. And so anyway, feel free to contact my office. Thank you so much. I'm Otis Landerholm, founding attorney here at Landerholm Immigration, A.P.C, where we fight for your American dream. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.